Ben Lammers, our player of the game, 24 points, a new career high for the junior from San Antonio. Also added 9 rebounds and 3 blocks. And Ben, let's begin with that moment with 12 and a half to go. Your team was down by 15. Given what happened on Wednesday in Durham, you guys could have easily checked out mentally. Instead, you went on the 12-0 run, cut it to 3, had McCamish Pavilion on its feet. You were front and center in that comeback. What were the things you guys were doing well during that stretch where the offense had been really tough to come by against that Louisville defense to that point?
I think we did a good job of having our defense kind of create our offense because basically all runs are originated through defense. Like we had to get some stops, and then once we get some stops, we got some more confidence, and we were able to have a little more swagger, I guess, on the offensive end.
You're used to going up against front lines, but few teams have the length on their front line the way the Cardinals do, and yet you score a career-high 24. How would you describe going up against such a bouncy, long interior like the Cardinals have?
It's definitely a challenge because there's just so many guys that can block your shot. I mean, I think there was one time I was posting up and I thought I was one-on-one, but then when I shot up, another guy just kind of came up and swatted my thing away. But I think you just kind of have to learn to play like pump fake or else try to take some other shots that they can't really block.
Was this the type of game where you would be fine? Well, maybe not fine the right word because you never want to lose, but to have Louisville beat you through the three-pointer, that was not part of their game much at all this year. Was that something that maybe early on you felt like you could live with?
Yeah, I mean, again, we need to get better at our three-point defense, obviously, but we knew that basically if the team's going to beat us, it's going to have to be through the 3 points because we have great just 2-point inside defense, so we just had to kind of hope that they didn't make the shots. Unfortunately, they gave them some extra chances, and they were able to sit down some key shots.
And because of a late flurry, Louisville was able to raise its shooting percentage, but only 38%. And I thought in the half court, when you guys sat down and guarded, you didn't make life easy on the Cardinals either. When you got them into playing half court offense, what'd you do so well to negatively affect them?
I think we just did a great job. Again, like we're good at packing things in, making sure like if they drive, we're good at helping out, even whether it's man or zone defense. And like we just because we do it so much in practice, I guess, against some hard teams. I think we just had we did a great job of just like defending the 2. We just needed to get better at the 3 now.
All right, this opening stretch of ACC play where you face 3 top 10 teams, that's never happened before in Georgia Tech's entire history where they've faced 3 consecutive teams ranked in the top 10. What do you hope your team gains from playing this type of stretch that you can carry forward into the remainder of conference play?
I mean, I think it's just a great experience because we can realize that like we can play with any team. So like the rankings aren't really a big deal. It doesn't matter if it's number 1 or whatever. We can hang out with anybody.
All right, Ben, we appreciate it. Thanks for the time.
No problem.
Maybe the final margin not indicative of the effort and the hustle you saw out of your kids?
Yeah, first of all, I mean, to go 1-2 after 3 top 10 opponents and 3 teams that they said could win the national championship, based on where we're at on our major rebuild in year 1, I think, we would all sign up with that with 2 hands, 10, both feet in, 20 toes and 20 fingers all in. But what I would tell you is, man, I thought we should have won the game today. Our start was horrible. Like and I don't know why that was. I don't know if it was because of the shot clock deal or what. We just were so slow, and that's not an excuse. I'm just saying I don't know why I told our guys it was like we were in the, out in the safari desert and you just put a cat right next to a lion and it just came and just gulped it up like that. And then I said, now after that, we were down 16-3 just within minutes. I mean, it was just like Jaws. Woo. After that, we calmed down. And there we beat them. I mean, the rest of the game, the problem is the first 5 minutes count. So, but listen, I'm proud of our guys. I mean, we were defending like crazy. Now, they came in shooting not that good from three-point range, and, they made some threes. But we're defending like crazy. Guys are giving me every ounce of effort they have. We just have limitation scoring, and it's hard for us. Like, we need Todrick Jackson to be that other scorer. Like, it's just like him going 1 for 10 is just not good enough for us. We have to have him score. Quentin Stevens is 0 for 3. So those 2 combined are 1 for 13. I love both young men, but it just puts so much pressure on us when those guys aren't scoring. We have to find a third scorer. We're going to go with Ben. I think Josh O is going to be a scorer. Between Q and Todrick, one of those guys got to help us with scoring because we're severely, severely limited. And we have 0 margin for error in our scoring ability. Like, we are so limited in that area. And so we've got to be able to find ways to score. However, what I would tell you is, we were right there in striking distance, and just it eats at me because I'm a big believer in guard rebounding, Andy. And they got 8 points late game by guard rebounding, twice on Justin Moore and then once on Josh Heath. And that's 8 points because 2 of them hit the threes and once there was a back for a layup. So we had opportunities where they missed, and guard rebounding didn't come up with those tough 50-50 balls. I talk about 50-50 balls. It's all about energy, and we missed a couple of those right there, and that was a difference in the game.
Yeah, and then Louisville, a very good offensive rebounding team coming in. Ben Lammer's career-high 24 points. He does that against the Louisville front line that's 6th in the nation in blocks, that has as much length of any team you'll face in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Your thoughts, as you saw it, of the job Ben did today?
Rick Pitino told me before the game he's the most improved player in the league and maybe the most improved player he's seen in the last 10, 15 years, where a guy has started from one end to the other end, how he's improved so much. So I'm really proud of Ben. That's a credit to Ben Lammers. That's a credit to Coach Reveno, works with the bigs, Coach Hardy, Coach Liberia. I mean, my assistant coach really do most of the individual instruction, so you got to give them the credit, and obviously Ben Lammers. So Ben had a good game. I thought he didn't have a great first half. We need him to play the second half like he did, in the first. He got to do that in the first half. He's got to put 2 halves together, but. I don't know any other way to explain it, Jacket Nation, is that we've got to find ways to score. We are severely limited, and when Todrick goes 1 for 10 and Quentin's 0 for 3, it's hard. It's very, very hard. And we're trying different things to find ways to move the ball and try to get some open shots and just not having that right now. So we've got to find that third scorer to help us.
What jump-started that 12-0 run in the second half? Cut that 15-point deficit down to 3, had McCamish Pavilion on its feet. It was almost a brand-new ball game from there.
Well, we played with better energy, but defensively we've been really good. I mean, we guarded. Guys are given every ounce of effort they have defensively. We held them to 30. If you take out the threes, they shot under 30% from the field. It was just they hit those threes. And they came in the game in league play 9 for 40 from three-point range. In their first 2 league games, they were 9 for 40. Today, they're 9 for 16. So, it just goes to show you each game is unique. Each game is its own kind of entity, and it's its own special, situation. And today, Louisville was hot from 3. If they don't make those threes, maybe it's a different game. But we tried different defenses. I thought, again, that zone and man maybe threw them off a little bit here and there, and we just got to be able to score. Andy, we're fouling towards the end, but again, it's no different than Georgia. We held them right at 60. Georgia under 60 until we started fouling. Here, right at 60, and then we started fouling. We just have to be able to score the ball. And I keep telling anyone that will listen, our only chance to win is we got to get to 70. And that's why in Carolina, I think we had 72 or 75, whatever. We've got VCU, we got to the 70 mark. Our whole thing is we've got to score it. We've got to hit the 70-point mark because we will defend well enough to win. It's just we've got to score the ball. We've got to find a third scorer to step up and put the ball in the basket.
All right, well, again, Louisville, folks, number 1 in the nation in defensive efficiency coming in, so few teams can put the vice grip on you like the Cardinals did. That said, had it right down to a 3-point margin in the second half, and you come out of this kind of an interesting baptism for you personally in ACC where you got to face 3 Hall of Fame coaches, 3 top 10 teams. What do you hope your team kind of learned from this stretch that you can carry forward?
Well, listen. Everyone in the preseason said Carolina, Duke, Louisville are 3 teams that can win the national championship, and they're 3 of the best 10 teams in America. Well, we're sitting here 1-2. Duke, I don't care who would have played Duke that night. Even if they played Kentucky, they would have probably won by 20 or 25. They were in another galaxy. But we probably should have beat Louisville tonight. Not that we should have beat them. I don't know, but you take out those 5 minutes, we're right there. I don't know. All I know is that we can be a good team. We really can, and we just got to find ways to score the ball. I believe in this group. I really believe in this group, and they're giving us, me, Jacket Nation, every ounce of effort they have. We've got to find ways to score the ball. We've got to find a third scorer. It's just we are severely limited scoring, and we've got to find ways to score.
All right, Coach, we'll see you on Thursday versus Clemson back here at McCamish.
Thanks, Andy.
Head coach Josh Pastor joining us here on the Postgame Show.